Today I'm going to teach you how you can create this grunge collage visualizer inside of After Effects. Let's go. My name is Devinhuynh. Welcome to 11% Tutorials. We got the new Pink Panthers album this week. Was fire. Let me know you guys' thoughts. Starting off with the tutorial. So first up, we got a rotoscope clip of Pink Panthers. If you don't know how to rotoscope, you can check out this video linked right here, but it's very, very simple. You just use the roto brush and yeah, but if you're going to be doing this effect, I recommend you know how to rotoscope. You can check out this video linked right here. Moving on to the next part, we're going to download a couple assets. Now I'm going to link to all these assets completely for free because that's how I got most of them. So let's get straight into it. So first, I just added a picture of London in the background. And what we're going to do next is we're going to go to our effects and presets and we're going to search for the threshold effect. So I'm going to drag CC threshold just like that. I'm going to hit invert so the buildings are white. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to animate this. So I'm going to go to the very beginning, hit the drop down on transform, and then we're just going to like move the position a little bit so that it kind of just moves around. So just like that. Nice. Okay, now we're going to use this technique to overlay another visualizer. Now the cool thing about these collage effects is that they're actually really simple to make. So I'm dragging in this checkered pattern just like this, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the blending mode to something either like screen, which yeah, I think that's pretty cool, and I'm just going to flip it around just like that. And there we go. Now we have a cool background going on. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to select both of these. I'm going to right click them. I'm going to hit pre-compose. Make sure you select move all attributes into new comp, and you can call this background and then hit OK. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our effects and presets and we're going to search for the posterized time effect. Drag and drop that and apply that to your background layer and change the frame rate to either 10 or 12. I'm going to do 10. And that way we kind of have this nice stop motion feel.
Really quickly, before we go any further, if you ever run out any cool visual effect ideas or need new transitions and effects for your projects with a fast turnaround, you should definitely download our editing presets at our website 11%.net. We have preset packs ranging from transitions and camera shakes all the way to cinematic title cards and 4K overlays. Also right now, if you buy one preset pack, you can get a second pack of your choice entirely for free. Saving time is the best investment any editor can make for themselves, so whether using Premiere Pro, After Effects, or another editing software entirely, these packs are super easy to use, saving you hours of work. Make sure to check them out at 11%.net while this buy one get one free bundle lasts. Now let's get back to the tutorial.
Now moving on to our subject, a very simple way to make your subjects look like they're a paper cutout because it's like a collage effect. What you can do is you can just basically hit Command D to duplicate Pink Panthers, select the bottom layer, hold Shift to scale it up just like that. Now I'm going to go back to my layer and I'm going to drag and drop our mixed media overlay paper background. And if you don't have this asset, you can check it out at our website 11%.net. But we have a mixed media pack. It has a bunch of newspaper effects, letters, borders, animations, transitions, a bunch of cool, crazy mixed media effects that you can literally just drag and drop. Most of them are all green screen. So you just key out the green screen and you have instant mixed media effects. So this one right here is really cool because it's just like a paper background. I'm going to use the invert effect right here to turn it white. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use the track matte tool and drag it to the bottom duplicated layer of our subject, and then drag that layer in between our two subject layers, and that way we kind of have this cool looking paper cutout effect of our subject, and it just looks pretty cool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of these. I'm going to do the same pre-comp trick that I used last time. I'm going to call this Pink Panthers and then hit OK. I'm going to use the same trick once again. I can even just come over here, copy the posterized time and paste it to our subject. And one other thing you could do is you can add a drop shadow, which is pretty cool because that way it makes it feel like it's more of like a cutout than just being stagnant in 2D. You can also just go ahead and turning down the saturation so that way you have like a more paper-like texture. So far things are looking pretty cool. So if you're making visualizers or lyric video, you always want to have some text. So right now I'm going to teach you a cool way you can add some text and animate it so that it fits the whole vibe and aesthetic. So I'm going to create a text layer and I'm going to just type pink just like that. And then I'm going to go to my effects and presets. I'm going to search for the typewriter tool effect. And I'll apply that effect to our text layer. Select your text layer and hit U, and that way you'll open up the keyframes so that you can see the actual keyframes on your typewriter animation. And basically what this effect does is it makes it look like the letters are being typed out. So now if you play it out, boom, it looks like they're typing out pink as the effect is playing out. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the R key to just basically adjust the rotation. Now we have a cool little animated text. I'm going to drag that behind our background layer. And one last thing to make this really cool and animate it is we're going to add some wiggle effects to it. So this is a cool and again, really useful trick for any type of collage effect. You can literally go over here to your effects and presets. You're first going to search for a slider effect. The wiggle effect is probably one of the most super helpful effects or expressions you can ever learn inside of After Effects, and it's super easy to make. First, go to your effects and presets and search for a slider control. Drag the slider control to whatever layer you're trying to animate. Hit the drop down on that layer, hit the drop down on transform, hold Option or Alt if you're on PC or Mac, and go ahead and hit the position keyframe. Now it's going to open up the expression tab. Don't freak out, super easy. Just follow along exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to type wiggle, and it should come up with 2 parentheses. Double click it to apply it to your expression tab. Then you're going to type 10 comma, and before you finish that, drag this pick whip tool all the way to your slider control, just like that. And now you can go ahead and increase your slider control up to like maybe 40, and voila, just like that, you have some animation, some wiggle animation. Now, the more you decrease the first value, so let's say we move it down to like something like 4, it will actually make the movement a little bit more subtle. And the more you increase the slider value, the like farther it's gonna move in the range. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go back to one of our layers, copy that posterized time effect, and just paste it to our top layer. And just like that, boom, now we have a dope looking wiggle and stop motion type like vibe going on. It's super easy to just make these effects, and that's why I love doing these collage type effects. Now the rest of this effect is literally just playing around with it and having fun. You can literally do anything you want here, download any types of assets. We have a bunch of free assets on our website which you can download. We got paint effects, mixed media effects, camera shakes, a bunch of crazy stuff going on. So if you want to download them, there's a bunch of free samples linked below. For example, we have these animated stop motion stars from our paint effects pack. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to apply a threshold effect to them, just like that, and then I'm going to change the blend mode to screen, and then I could just literally decrease this and move it in the background just like that. Now we have some stars in the background, and we can just go ahead and duplicate that as many times as we want, move it around, flip the position. And yeah, this is just one of those effects that you honestly should just mess around with, have fun, use your own creativity. And just one last thing to completely wrap up this effect, I'm gonna apply one more paper texture overlay from our mixed media pack. I'm gonna change the blend mode to screen, and just like that, now we have some paper texture applied over everything and just makes things feel a lot more realistic. And just like that, guys, that's how you create a dope stop motion collage animation for your music videos, visualizers, or any other type of video project you want. Hope you guys found something useful. If you had any questions or concerns, leave a comment down below. I love to hear what you guys have to say. Let me know what you guys think about the auto edit plugin. If you want to get any other preset packs, camera shakes, transitions, you can check out 11%.net. We also got the free samples there. And if you want to learn how to create a dope 3D transition like this without using any Blender or Cinema 4D, you can check out this tutorial linked right here.